All right. Tuesday, June 6th, 8:30. Tucker's had a big day. Tucker went to Target today. Tucker talked to Grandma today. Tucker picked up a desk today. Tucker is moving. Tucker's
Yes,
back in
sir.
Blacksburg, man. How you doing?
That's right, baby. Hey, we're back. Doing great, 2 weeks into training. Happy to be back. Morale's high. Everybody's doing well. I think, everybody's excited to be back. So, yeah, man, it's just it's good to be back in Blacksburg, even though, the population's like 60,000 people less or something, but whatever it is. But it's good. It's good to be back, like you said, moving. So in the process of moving, getting close to the facility. So that's going to be kind of nice.
So I have three. We're going to start this thing off with three pretty heavy-hitting questions. The first one kind of took over Twitter by storm, Virginia Tech Twitter by storm. And according to Pry Knows Ball, he put a tweet out and it said that it is rumored that you are now dating Taylor Swift following her breakup in 1975.
No way.
Can
way.
you
All right.
confirm or deny these rumors with Taylor Swift?
Man, just to keep it entertaining, I can neither confirm or deny these rumors. So, I think we're just gonna have to find out later down the road. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I got you.
But yeah, I did just see that today. So it kind of caught me off guard when I saw it, but we'll see. Who knows?
We'll see. Stay
Exciting
tuned.
times. Stay
That's
tuned.
Right. That's right. Next question. So you mentioned it 2 weeks into the new training schedule. Everybody's back on campus, but I want to talk specifically about the freshmen who have moved in. They're all getting settled in. So have any of them stood out in the weight room during running? Have you gotten close with any of them early on? Talk to me a little bit about the newcomers.
Yeah, it's a good group. It's a good group. I saw also on Twitter today where someone had posted about the fact that like our roster currently is like 41% different with scholarship players than it was a year ago or something like that. And like from my perspective, our roster looks the best that it's looked since I've been here. And a big part of that is this freshman class that's coming in. They've been great. The dudes who early enrolled and the dudes who just got here, everybody's been great. I feel like they kind of cultivated well and it went really fast and they understand the where we're taking the direction of the program and just the culture that we've already cultivated so far and want to continue that. They've done a great job of that. But I mean, I wouldn't say, as far as the kids who just got here this summer, just 2 weeks ago when we got back, it's kind of hard to tell as far as who pops out initially, just because there's very little football going on compared to spring ball or fall camp. Fall camp is really when we'll find out who can ball and who can't. But yeah, it's been good. I think that. The coaches have done a great job of recruiting great players that have not only fit our culture, but are also going to contribute in all the right ways to our team. So it's exciting. I've gotten to know a good bit of the new freshmen, and me being a sophomore now, I'm excited to be able to hopefully mentor some of those younger dudes and help them to progress throughout their college career while I'm here at least, but. I mean, I wouldn't say anyone specifically out of the summer group who's enrolled, but we got some kids who balled out in the spring game. As far as the early enrollees, some dudes who really, it was cool to see like kids develop. Some of the guys from the beginning of spring ball to the end, which was kind of the same for me when I got here, and just to see how college, a good college program develops players. So that's exciting. But yeah, it's a good group.
So I was meaning to ask you this. It's almost like you're reading my notes, but this is the next one I got for you. So I read the article that was attached to that statistic, and it's 18 transfers have transferred out.
Okay.
11 kids graduated. That's 29. It's 29 kids. And I was texting with some guys that were my teammates back when I was at Tech. And the one that I can really remember is Michael Brewer came in and then Calvin Klein had left. And I don't want to say it was emotional, but it's like these are people you spend a bunch of time with. Is that odd? We never would have had that big of a number. How do you all handle that? I have no context or understanding of what that's like.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I would say that that's a two-way street. It's not just something where, we as the dudes or, the guys who have been there have to like figure out how to handle all these new people coming in. Well, I guess really it's kind of like three parts to it. It's, how we handle it and how we do a good job of cultivating a healthy environment for them coming in and the turnover. And then it's also like the type of players that the coaches are recruiting. And then, once those players, the new guys get, on campus, like what type of dudes are they and how are they going to invest in, our program and what we're trying to do. So it's been good though. Like I said, I think this is the best that our roster has looked since I've been here, and that's an exciting thing, especially like I can speak on my room, the wide receiver room, just because I'm in there. It's super competitive right now. It's the most competitive that it's been since I've been here, and so that's exciting. That's one of our fundamentals. That's one of the things Coach Pryor pushes every day, and that we attack in practice, just like competing. And so that's exciting. The roster looks great. The new guys are, they've done a good job of integrating into, the team and finding, their people. But in general, like everybody's done a good job of accepting the new guys, and then also, like you mentioned, like it's been tough to see people leave. Like, yeah, we've grown to know these guys really well and cultivate good relationships with them. But at the end of the day, like we trust the type of dudes that are coming in and that the coaches are bringing in, and then we wish the best to dudes who are transferring out. Like they're part of our family, and they're part of is like for me, they're part of my development as a man and as a player. So I'm super thankful for the dudes who have come and or who have been here and then gone since I've been here. But then just super excited about the new group of people of guys who are here now. And we don't really reflect that much on the past, but we're definitely excited about our roster right now. I think going into fall camp, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a heck of a fall camp. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be good.
So, and you kind of touched on this again. And you're on Twitter. I know everybody sees it. People say they don't read it, but everybody reads it.
Mm-hmm.
Athlon ranked Virginia Tech 10th out of the 14 teams at the wide receiver position this year going into the season. Which is silly given the talent that was brought in and the youth at the position. So I'm not going to ask you to comment on that. We can do that for you.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Thought that didn't make a lot of sense.
Hey,
I don't want
yeah,
to
no,
let me finish the question.
Okay, go ahead. All right,
I do want to ask how the unit has gelled since the conclusion of spring ball. How often are you guys getting out there into the indoor? Just kind of tell me about that unit and the cohesion of that unit.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like I'm not gonna say anything about any other group because genuinely, I don't know what other teams have. Just because I'm on the offensive side of the ball, like I know what other teams' corner rooms are looking like, but just in general, like our room is good. Our room is legit. And I'd put our room up against anyone else for sure. The talent we've brought in and the talent that we've been able to cultivate and grow just in dudes developing over the past year. It's exciting. But yeah, no, me personally, I can't say anything about anyone else's room, but our room is going to be good, and there's going to be some production coming out of our wide receiver room this year. I'd bet on that for sure. But yeah, so since spring ball, we've only been back for summer training for 2 weeks, and then there's the whatever, however many week and a half, 2 weeks that we have left after the spring game. And at that point, we're just kind of like getting ready for exams, taking exams, heading home. But I would say just in the 2 weeks that we've been here for summer training, it's been really good. I would say even compared to last year, there's been a lot more mesh in the wide receiver room, but also like the quarterback room and the wide receiver room, just because we've been able to get a lot more work in together. And then it's been good because the culture and the cultivation that's been going on with those two groups specifically, and then you got like the tight ends as well, because that's the main dudes who are going to be catching passes, like wide receiver and tight ends. But it's been really good. There's been some dudes that have stepped up, and we expect them to step up, but it's been good to see how much work we put in, even just like compared to last year. Just for example, this Saturday, if you'd have walked out to our facility, you would have seen like, I don't even know, probably 40, 50 dudes out there after we had our like optional power hour workout on Saturday. Like we had great RVA time where this is player led. We just went out. I think we had I'm pretty sure every receiver was there. And so like that's what you're looking for. The best type of teams are teams that have player led things like that going on. And so that's been good. It's been really good. I think the summer also just gives us more time. We still are in class, but it's mostly online, so it's just giving us time to be able to spend just hanging out, having fun. And so we got a lot more summer to go, but it's headed in the right direction, and just that player-led type of stuff is what you're looking for in a mature team. The most mature teams and the best teams have routine, player-led, throwing, catching, jugs, stuff like that. So it's been really good. Definitely growing as a receiver room, getting to know each other well, cultivating a good healthy community just in that room and then outside of it. So,
who's picking the music for the throw sessions? Who's in charge of that?
Oh, that's a great question. I honestly think that the way it works is like, I'm pretty sure that there's like a computer already up on the aux for the indoor, and that shoots speakers outside too. So, I don't know, but it's been
You just
good.
show up.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Hey, I just show up and run routes, catch from the cues. But it's I feel pretty confident in our ability to play some good tunes when it comes to time to get some work in on our own time. But yeah, and also it's Saturday, so like when we're doing RVA, it could most definitely be rap, whatever, just to be into it. But then towards the end, when we're all like, oh, it's the weekend, it's kind of like some more relaxed, have fun type of music. But it's always good, and it's I'm really looking forward to that time the rest of the summer. Just those Saturday mornings, getting to work together, just us and the guys.
Sounds like, so you guys usually do this on Saturday?
Yes, Saturday morning is our like optional. I mean, it is optional. It's our optional. The weight room's like open, and then we have RVA at 10 for whoever wants to come.
Do we need to start doing? Do we need to make some at Saturday act like it gym shirts? Get those out to you guys.
Oh,
Can you make
okay.
that happen?
Shoot, I like that idea. Hey, I'm in. I'm all for it.
You only get them if you show up and work on Saturday.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how I gotta work.
We'll work on that. We'll get something.
Shoot.
We'll get something for Saturday club going on.
That'd be pretty sick.
Virginia Tech has hosted a plethora of recruits over the past couple of weeks. I know you guys have some camps. Curious, do you have any responsibilities? You hosted any visits? And whether it's a recruit, friend, or family, what are some of the staples that you make sure people see when they come to Blacksburg?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've already had like two camps so far. We have one Thursday and there's one Sunday. So those have been great so far. I usually work the camps just to, do whatever I can, but it's been great so far. We're gonna have a lot of kids coming through, so it's a great opportunity for the coaches to kind of like, see dudes who are probably under recruited and might just catch a coach's eye. So that's always good. But yeah, I mean, recruiting's in full swing. We've had OVs over the past weekend and into this week. I didn't host this past weekend, but the plan is for me to host this coming weekend, but I'm not even sure who yet. And then, I'm sure I'll host a few more times throughout the summer. But for me, one thing that I enjoyed when I was going through the recruiting process was when dudes were just kind of like genuine, like they were just themselves instead of like trying to put on for the recruits. And so for me, it kind of just depends on what type of dude my recruit is. I try to figure that out before, as much as I can. Just follow him on social media, whatever. Try to figure out what type of guy he is, and then that first night that you're together, you're eating a meal together and spending time with their family, so you can kind of get a feel for it. But shoot, I honestly don't really change anything from my normal routine of just like, hanging out, spending time with other guys, like my friends. Like I want to get them around other teammates. That's, I would say, like the only thing that's like, I got to do this because I want them to understand like the type of community we have just within our team. I don't really care so much about like downtown or whatever, other life outside of just our team. Because at the end of the day, that's who you got when you're here and you're playing football, especially like right now, like it's the summer, nobody's really here. We're the only people here. We're working our butts off. So, that's the number one thing. That's the only thing that I think is like mandatory for me that I make sure that if I ever recruit, if I'm hosting, I'm getting them in front of other teammates, good people. Just to, it's good for him to be able to feel out what type of guys we are. Football is one thing, but to really understand like what type of dudes I'm going to be around on a daily basis, that was important for me at least. It might not be for some other people, and if that's the case, and then I straight up ask them, and if they want to go do something, then we'll go do whatever they want. But yeah, just being genuine. I don't try to, put on or act fake and just for them to commit. I try to be genuine and do whatever I can to help them make that decision. But ultimately, yeah, I think this is a great place to be. So I do my best to recruit when I can and, help everybody out.
Moving into our last segment of the podcast, Rapid Fire and Letters from the Lunch Pail. This segment is brought to you by South Block in Nova and DC. It is owned by a Virginia Tech alum. So use code SUNS15 for 15% off of your acai bowl, smoothie, or fresh juice right on the app. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep caling it. That's what they say. So shout out to our friends over at South Block.
Hey, real quick, I haven't been there, but I see the stuff y'all post on the stories, and it looks oof. So I gotta give me some.
I'm glad you brought this up because when I met the gentleman who owns it, he was considering bringing one down to Blacksburg. That's not happen. It's a potential maybe later thing.
Okay.
But would that be something that you think would be an absolute hit?
Oh yes.
There's nothing
yes.
Hey, bowl space right now.
It's a college town, man. Come on. And the white girls are gonna be in there getting the bowl, whatever it is. They love that stuff. Hey, they eat it up.
They do.
Mean, am I wrong?
The white chicks would absolutely adore some
white chicks would go crazy for that
and smoothies. That's right. Yeah, we got to get one down there for sure. That's
definitely.
That's an absolute no-brainer, slam dunk. What is your favorite class that you have taken this past semester, and what's your major? We haven't even talked about that.
Yeah, so my major is human development. For me, honestly, I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. but it's interesting for me just because, so I mean, obviously, what type of household I was raised in. Like
Mhm.
everything I see is from a Christian point of view. It's from a Christian perspective, and I, you know, hold my faith to be above all else and everything in my life. So it's been cool. It's not as much like I'm gonna do this in school that way I can have this job. Like realistically, I just want to have impact when I get into the workforce. So wherever that takes me, like it takes me. But it's been cool because it's helped me to see the way that the world gives reason and like a just a secular understanding of the way humans develop and the way that we understand and see things, like the psychological side of it. I don't know, it's just interesting to me. And so, um, yeah, I would even say just going on and answering your question, my favorite class this past year was a human development class that I took. It was um, let's see, there's so many of them. It was human development, and it was relationships. That's what it was. And so it was cool because I got to learn a lot, um, but not only learn a lot. I'd had those types of things. I've talked to those types of things with, you know, growing up in a godly household and just learning what that means to me from a Christian perspective. And so I know how I view those things, but it was cool just to be able to see how a secular college teaches those things. And so it was cool for me to be able to learn from that perspective, just to be able to resonate and understand how to approach people when I'm talking to um, you know people about that type of things when they're not Christians like I am. So yeah, for sure that.
First, this isn't a question. This is more of a
Mhm.
point. It comes from Robin Semper. He says, "Awesome field vision, Tucker." There was a picture of you from the Georgia Tech game. He says, "As a VT alumnus with a daughter on the Georgia Tech physician squad, your return was the highlight of my weekend. Locking eyes with my daughter
Okay.
after that play and Lane Stadium's response told her everything about why I am a Hokie." It's from Robin.
That's good. Everything about why I'm a Hokie. That's what it's all about.
Sam Stromberg, Sam Stro 757. He asks, what are the expectations and standards going forward for the 2023 season and onward
Mm,
within this team? And I think the fan base, and this is not directed at Sam, this is directed at everybody. Everybody, and I'll just tell you, we're going to do a podcast where we give you the number. But I think it's foolish to be going into a season, regardless of what you're playing, and saying, well, we should win this many games. If we do
mm,
X, then this is a success. If we do Y, this is a failure. Which you guys are all really able to kind of impact directly is what
mm.
the standard is based upon what is expected out of you guys from practice, what
Yeah,
is expected from you guys out of the facilities. So what is that standard and what do you guys look to?
yeah. Well, first of all, we're in phase 3 right now, which is, we have Coach Fry, one of his things is the 5 phases. So our winter phase, winter training, spring ball, and then summer training, which is what we're in right now, and then fall camp, and then the season is phase 5. And so our goal is to win each phase. When we're done with the phase, we don't worry about the phase that we were in before, and we don't worry about the phase that's ahead of us. And what I can tell you now is that phases 1 and 2, I feel like we won those. The winter training was an insane amount better than last year. And I think it was just because we understood expectations and we all had like we knew we were there to work and we're here to win this year. And so that was awesome to see, like just how much harder we worked in the winter. And then in the spring, it was the same way. It was a lot better than last year. And so right now we're in phase 3, summer training, and we're just 2 weeks in, so it's we're not that many workouts in, 2 weeks worth. But at the end of the day, like we want to win each phase, and winning each phase means training harder than any other team in the country. But not only training harder and like putting more effort, like putting more focused effort. And so, I think everybody kind of understands that. and the new guys have picked up with it really well. But yeah, like our goal is to win this phase, and it's that simple. Whatever it takes, whatever commitment, whatever perseverance, whatever physical or mental toll that takes, like that's our goal. We know the standard. Everybody on the team knows the standard. We talk about it on a daily basis, and so just to be able to understand like each person on my right and my left, like when we're running 300-yard shuttles or whatever we're doing that sucks that day, like we just embrace it and not only get through it but just try to like push each other and get better through it. So I think we're in a good place. I'm excited. I'm proud of the winter and the spring that we've had, and now we got to work in a way that we can say the same thing about the summer when we're done with it. So yeah.
Last one comes from Steve Bryce. Who is the fastest player on the team? I'm assuming if you say yourself, you can't say yourself. But are you the fastest player on the team?
Okay, here's the question though. Are we including Cole Beck?
I feel like that's
the question. Are we including Cole Beck?
I guess we can automatically say that he's the fastest person on the team.
Yes,
now, I will say there is a difference between speed on a football field
track speed.
Speed
it's
on a
completely
track.
Different. Yes,
but he's also fast. Period. I'm sure he'd be fast on ice skates or whatever biome you choose. So let's go. Let's take Cole Beck out and who's the fastest guy?
Yeah. Which first of all, good luck, Cole Beck. Nationals this week. Let's get it. Super excited for him. But yeah, okay. So let's take Cole Beck out of the equation. Fastest guy on the team. Honestly, see, I think it's a tough thing because we ran 40s after spring ball, and that's one thing to look at, like 40-yard dash times, because a lot of that depends on how good your start is or whatever. So like, I think there's two different types of speeds. You have like your quickness, like your dudes who are like a lot of running backs have like real quick, twitchy speed.
Water bug.
But then you also have like your top end speed guys. And me personally, like I don't feel like I'm a real super twitchy, like in and out and at top speed in no time type of guy. I wish I was, and I'm working on that, but I feel like I'm a more top end speed type of guy. So me personally, I put my top end speed against anyone on the team. I'm not saying I'm the fastest, but I'm saying I'll race anybody, and I think my top end speed is fast as anyone on the team. But if we're talking about like 40-yard dash, then we're gonna have to have a race in all reality, because there's some fast dudes on the team. Daquan Felton can run. I can run. Jalen Lane can run. Tootin can run. Chance Black can run. Dorian Strong can run. I think there's a lot of dudes who can really scoot, and that's just to name a few. But I feel like that's a good problem to have,
Last one for a bonus. Are there any fat guys that are fast? I pride myself on being a pretty fast fat guy. Any offensive lineman or defensive lineman that can really move.
So here's the question. You might upset some people. But here's the question. What are we like classifying as fat?
So the thing that brings it back is when I was in college, we had in hindsight, it was kind of a stupid setup, but we had Tim Settle start on the sideline and DJ Reed start running in a straight line, and he had to cut him off in like I think 45 or 40 yards, and Tim was 300. You can Google Tim Settle now. Whatever he looks like in an NFL uniform, add 40 pounds. Like he was a big boy.
He was big.
And he tracked him down. That got picked up by like Sports Illustrated and everything else, which is a stupid video on Snapchat. But yeah, just somebody who really wows you. Like you're watching them move that fast, and it's like watching a rhinoceros in the jungle. You're like, I didn't know that mass was capable of moving at that speed.
Okay, I got one, and I'm not sure how fast he actually is, but when I watch either like game film or specifically practice film, um, I would say Rio. Rio can move, D lineman, and he's not small. You know, he's a big dude. We call him Worm, but dude, he can move, and it's one of those things where like it don't look like he's moving that fast, but like he'll close some space, especially if he's chasing the Q, if he's chasing the quarterback out of the pocket. Hey man, he'll close some space. So it's always good to have a dude like that on the D line.
Sounds good. Well, Tucker, dude, I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer coming up at 9:00. I know you had a bunch of stuff you were knocking out today, but
Yes,
keep
sir.
killing it in phase 3. We appreciate you as always, and we're looking forward to this fall.
Yes, sir. Always appreciate you.